How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Chaos Prime here, and today we're going to be looking at the ABK deal again. It is Monday, it is 4:30, so it is 8:30 a.m. in California. The Judge Corley has pretty much started her trial this morning, which is now in California, so I wouldn't expect any news to come out from any decision at least until about midnight in the UK. Now, this isn't to say that this is a bad thing. This is a genre defining case, one that has to be, scoped with a fine comb. She has to give all the relevant considerations in regards to both sides. This is a massive case after all. It's not a simple one. However, in regards to the consumers, it is pretty simple. Is this is there any harm to the consumers? No, it's going to go to Game Pass. It's going to be on cloud. It's going to be available on PlayStation. It's going to be available on PC. It's going to be available everywhere, including Nintendo. Now that one will be interesting because I'd love to see how it's going to run on I guess it's not going to run on the Switch. It's going to be run on the next gen Switch. And if it does run on the Switch, I assume it's going to be through cloud anyway. But it's just Activision Blizzard games, more games for everyone. And to me, that is, not being anti-competitive. But there are other factors to consider here. There's political factors to consider here, which I'm pretty sure are going to be wagered into. I know people are saying that that's not supposed to factor in, but on a case of this scale, I can't see it not factoring in. It's just one of those things. But in regards to the actual deadline, it's on the 18th, right? So as far as Microsoft's concerned, the original date set by Judge Corley for a verdict to be announced, it was going to be on the 12th of July. Now, this then gives the FTC 5 full days to go and try and make an appeal if they so choose to. They can't work on the appeal right now because they don't know what they're appealing against. So until that decision is made, it actually works against the FTC. And if this decision is kept all the way until the 12th, in many ways that actually works in Microsoft's favor, because it really does put the shoe on the FTC to try and come up with anything to try and go to the appeals court quickly and come up with a decision to get this delayed. But I don't think they actually will be in that position. After all, Lena Khan now is being investigated by Congress. They've just requested a bunch of documents from her because she's basically bent the rule of law to her will and is basically going rogue according to Congress. And she's now refusing to supply Congress with the subpoenaed material because I'm guessing it's clearly going to implicate all the shady doings that she's been doing under the administration. And it's probably going to actually hurt the FTC more than they actually realize, because if she is found in contempt, which is what she essentially is now by refusing to provide the subpoenaed documents, which has been granted, well, it wouldn't surprise me if the FTC actually had power step in and actually remove powers from the FTC because of Lena Khan. In my opinion, she's really hurt the American regulation system, and honestly, the way she's gone about it probably wasn't the smartest way. She hasn't won many cases, and even the Meta case, the Meta Within case, where she was so overjoyed that she actually was able to preliminarily block it, Meta eventually went and won and closed it anyway. And she wasted all those taxpayers' money just because she wanted herself to be right. But we're not talking about Meta Giphy, we're not talking about Meta Within. What we're talking about here is Activision Blizzard, King, and Microsoft with the FTC. And the reason why I talked about that originally is because now she's being attacked from two fronts. The FTC is now being split, and they're being attacked from all angles on what they were doing, including from Congress and other areas of the legal system. So they're kind of split. Obviously, they're big enough to be able to handle it, but how well they can handle it is a different matter. And currently, I don't think we're going to get a date So currently, I would expect a decision around midnight, maybe 1 a.m. the UK time, but I seriously don't think we're going to get anything today. The actual hard deadline is Thursday, and I think it may draw out till Thursday. Now, that is not a bad thing. Now, obviously, with the weekend looming, that might cause a little bit of a hiccup. It can't actually delay the 5-day ruling because the judge is aware that this is time sensitive. That is why everything was done in the manner which the FTC agreed to, even though they then tried to delay it. Nope, that was a CMA. I mean, they're pretty much the same at this point, so forgive me for confusing them and intertwining them. But if it does end on the 12th, it still means that they still have to the 17th to form a appeal and get an appeal in by the 17th. If the appeal doesn't go in by the 17th, then Microsoft will close on the 17th or the 18th. They'll have full ability to close the deal and it will go through. And then whatever happens with the CMA come on the 24th to the 28th of July will be what it will be. And I'll be covering that in full as well. But it's very interesting as the deadlines are getting shorter, but I don't think there's any reason to get concerned. Now, obviously, there is never a done deal, and if a case this big, it, like I said at the beginning, it wouldn't surprise me if politics did get involved in one way or another. Under the actual rules, I don't think the FTC has any grounds to actually win and get the preliminary injunction granted. I think Judge Corley right now is taking all the time she needs to make sure that this legacy defining trial is actually going to be done correctly, and she's giving it the due diligence and the respect it deserves because it is a massive case. You're not going to see a case like this probably in your lifetime. Maybe your kids will see it, or your kids' kids will see another one. I assume after this, we're going to probably get regulatory bodies that will come in and actually set new legislation for, how much has to be spent before things are going to get scrutinized to this level. And those discussions might be had. But in regards to the ABK deal, right now, midnight is probably going to be when we hear something, if we do hear anything today. Otherwise, I think tomorrow we could potentially hear something as well. But if we don't hear anything by Tuesday, I think we'll probably hear something on Thursday. Also, keep in mind that this document that she's writing right now isn't going to be like a 2-3 page document detailing why she's passed it. You can expect this to be 70, 80, 90, 100, maybe even 200 pages worth of, writing to explain her decisions in full, on all the legal precedents that she's called upon, on all the evidence, on all the witness reports. Everything will be documented, everything will be categorized. So it's a lot of work, like a lot of work. And you can rest assured that she has been looking at it. There has been timestamps, but yeah. So at the moment, again, like my previous video, no news is good news for if you're hoping for this deal to go through. Just know that we'll probably hear something in the next day, and if we don't, it'll probably be on Thursday, which will then give the FTC its solid 5 days to try and get an appeal through. And once it does fall through by the 18th, Microsoft will close, and probably in about a week's time, at least for those in the anywhere in the world outside of the UK, you will start to see ABK games appearing on Game Pass. Whether that will mean an increase to Game Pass, I mean, they've already just increased it by £1, so I think that's going to be it for a while. But for those that are in UK like myself, we have the CMA to thank in getting a less screwed over. But hopefully that will resolve itself come the 24th to the 28th when the CMA trial goes ahead, because considering they tried to delay it and gave the excuse that they can't get a counsel when there's a school of counsels that they can go to, clearly no one wants to touch this within a barge pole, and they're struggling to find anyone crazy enough to take this case. And honestly, if the CMA had a smoking gun, they would have gone into this trial, not asked for a delay, and just said, right, here we go. we win. Clearly they don't have that. And they're going to start, like the FTC, going on what ifs, but-fors and what ifs, and basically they're going to ask the CAT tribunal to watch a Minority Report and ask the judge, the CAT tribunal's triple judge panel to act like the Minority Report was the whole, the basis of the Minority Report, where this algorithm would pick people and say this person might do this, and was arresting them before they were actually doing anything, but there was a chance that they could do it, and it was preventing something from happening even though it wasn't happening, which in itself is illegal, right? And that's why in that movie the whole Minority Report got shut down, because the whole thing was broken, corrupt. So and that's pretty much what the FTC has done, and I'm guessing on the 24th that is what the CMA is going to do. They're going to basically go with the what if Microsoft decide to do this, and what if they decide to do this, and what if they decide to do this. We know they're not going to take it off PlayStation. If PlayStation doesn't want it, that's a different matter. We also know that PlayStation isn't getting it for free, no matter how much the FTC wants Sony's... well, I have to choose my words carefully here because I am on YouTube, but you get what I was about to say. No matter how much they want to write that, it ain't happening. And Judge Corley threw that out the window as well. And Judge Corley was more than happy with the contracts that were in place, more than happy with Nvidia. So as far as I'm concerned, this seems like a open and closed shut case with the FTC, and it looks like it's going to be an open and closed shut case with the CMA. But politics is politics, and anything can happen in the world of politics, because all it takes is a bit of spin, a bit of, whips, and if people play ball to the whips, decisions can go either way. But if you're asking me for a percentage of how sure I am that this is going to go through, I'd probably say a 90-10 split. The 10% being that, politics could play a hand. Because outside of politics, the FTC and the CMA really have no chance. That's it. I hope this has at least brought you up to speed of where we're at right now in regards to Lina Khan, the CMA, and Judge Corley. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. If we do get a ruling tonight, I'll definitely make a video. You can count on that. That will be coming. But otherwise, I'll keep you posted as of when I have more information. Thanks for checking out my other content as well on this channel. It means a lot. We have hit over 1,600 subs. You guys are amazing. I'm about to drop my YouTube join. So if any of you do want to join my membership, I'm going to do a short video on that as well once it's live. So it should give you or I might just put it at the start of a video just to give you guys a brief overview of what it is and what you get. But yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.